We're still live, large and in charge, and it's your feel-good breakfast show. And 60 years ago, the University of the Western Cape started classes for 166 students. And now it was initially formed as a construct of apartheid to provide education for coloureds only. And it grew into a beacon of strength and opened its doors of learning to the nation. Now one of the most influential universities in the country and committed to the upliftment of the communities, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the University of the Western Cape, and we chat to Rector and Vice Chancellor Professor Tyrone Pretorius about this amazing milestone. Professor Tyrone, how are you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show, and good morning to your viewers as well.
It's an absolute pleasure having you here for the celebration of what it is. But what is it about the University of the Western Cape that intrinsically links it to the fabric of South Africa's heritage?
The story of the University of the Western Cape is intrinsically linked to the history of South Africa. This university was established in line with the ideology of separateness to cater only for coloured students. And the intention at the time was for it to produce graduates whose future would be linked and limited to what the apartheid government had imagined them to become. Wow. As we know by now, this university would not be defined by such a narrow definition and rose from this unfortunate conception into a beacon of activism and eventually a non-racial institution at the time that defied the government of the day. It was here at the university where the very first draft of our current constitution was written, and it was here where President Nelson Mandela received his first honorary doctorate after being released from prison in 1990.
Wow, Prof, it's actually so incredible to hear how much influence has gone through the university. Now, over 60 years in total, the university has become a very different place to what it was first imagined to be now. Can you briefly describe the transition from a historic place of activism to now being a leading research-intensive university in the global space?
The university in its first 40 years of existence built a foundation that aided the transition of South Africa into a democratic country and its reintroduction into the global community. That activism was not always appreciated, and we became known as the protesting university. However, I'm proud to say that we have transitioned into a university that regularly ranks among the top 800 universities in the world. We are improving annually, and we are addressing as a university all 17 UN, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our transition has extended to a force for change in finding solutions to global challenges of our time, as I call them the grand challenges of our time.
Oh, wow, Prof, just sitting here listening to you, it's just, it's mind-blowing to think what this organization and this university has achieved throughout these years. But fast forwarding to the current situation, could you tell us more about the achievements the university has had in the fight against COVID-19?
The fight against COVID-19 has been among some of the highlights of the work of our researchers, our academics during lockdown, which include, as was well publicized, our South African National Bioinformatics Institute, located at UWC, collaborated with the National Institute for Communicable Diseases to decode the genome sequencing of a sample of the virus. Our academics in the Dalla Omar Institute and in the Program for Land and Agrarian Studies have successfully petitioned the government to relax regulations for spaza shops to remain open during the lockdown. And this ensured food security to poorer communities. One of our researchers, Dr. Tasneem Suleiman, developed the first known laboratory isolate of SARS coronavirus 2 in the laboratories at Stellenbosch University. On an international level, we have had successful virtual engagements with our partners from across the world. And in a way, the pandemic has linked us closer to each other than we've ever been before.
Now, the 60th anniversary has been celebrated on the cornerstones of social justice, community engagement, and graduate employability. Now, Prof, could you tell us about these values the university espouses?
Social justice is at the heart of the ethos of the University of the Western Cape. It is in the DNA of all that we do. UWC takes very seriously its role as an anchor institution in the region, and it is this anchor role that makes it a catalyst for social change and for developing its surrounding areas. At UWC, we are intent on producing graduates who are ready for the new world of work, armed not only with the practical and theoretical skills in a fast-changing world, but also the life skills to become active and responsive citizens of the global community.
Well, Prof, I can't thank you enough for sharing your time with us this morning and also sharing the insights on what incredible work UWC is doing, not only for our present, but also our future.
I wish to thank you as well, and thank you for the opportunity that you are presenting to UWC to celebrate its remarkable 60 years of existence with the rest of the nation.
All right, now obviously with the 60 years of celebration coming through, what an amazing milestone it truly is. It's one of heritage and it's one that's truly worth celebrating and commending. And here's to another 60 amazing years to the University of the Western Cape.
So in light of Heritage Day that hopefully you're already enjoying, and the University of the Western Cape celebrating their incredible milestone of turning 60, their 60th anniversary, here is a beautiful song by their choir commemorating this unbelievable milestone. Absolutely beautiful. Hopefully that set the right tone for the rest of today. And can we congratulate the University of the Western Cape on that milestone. Right now, though, we're heading back to Johannesburg to continue our Braai Day celebrations with Chef Martin Biggie and Plongo.